In order to become younger, women force themselves to eat a bowl of dumplings every day, but each dumpling is worth 100,000 yuan. Kara is the owner of this dumpling restaurant. She looks young, but she's actually in her 70s. A normal restaurant goes to the market to buy food. She goes to the hospital to buy embryos from aborted babies. Who would have thought? This is the raw material for the dumplings. If you eat her dumplings, even the oldest woman would instantly look 20 years younger. That day, a woman named Linda approached her. She heard from a friend that the dumplings here are very expensive, so she came to try them out. When the owner saw the woman's face, she suddenly became very excited, because she's been watching Linda's dramas since she was a kid. It turns out the woman is a film star. She gained a lot of achievements with her superb face value when she was young. Therefore, Linda met a rich businessman 10 years older than herself. She married him when she was 20 years old. Afterwards, she gave up her career and began to take care of the family. At first, the businessman was very kind to Linda. As time passed, his wife grew old. The man slowly stopped loving her. Apart from coming home every month to pay for the woman's living expenses, he spent the rest of his time with his secretary. Linda was devastated to learn that her husband had a secretary. She came here to win him back. When the boss learned about her idol, she expressed her sympathy. Then she went to the kitchen and started making dumplings. In a short while, a bowl of dumplings worth $600,000 was ready. Because of the ingredients, Linda was a bit scared. Carla could see her hesitation, so she urged her to be more daring. With Carla's encouragement, Linda finally plucked up the courage to put the dumpling in her mouth. But the next moment, she spat it out, because it tasted too fishy to swallow. And that's exactly what happened. When Carla's dog smelled it, she immediately avoided it. Carla's words instantly fueled Linda's fighting spirit. Think of the consequences when you eat it, not the consequences. Linda swallowed the dumplings to win back her husband's heart. She ate one dumpling after another, forcing herself to endure the fishy smell. Sure enough, after eating a few, her skin quickly became red and moist, and her body began to sweat constantly. That was it. In the following days, Linda came to Carla's dumpling house every day to eat dumplings, and she gradually got used to the fishy smell of the dumplings, although she looked much better than before. But Linda realized that her husband was still not interested in her. She became anxious and asked Carla if she had any dumplings that would make her younger. In fact, 5 or 6-month-old babies are the prettiest. There's a layer of creamy juice wrapped around the outside. It's red and white. Their hands and feet are still moving. Auntie Mui told Linda that if she eats these dumplings, even the oldest woman will be 18 again in no time, because the fetus has already developed at 5 months. So few people choose to give up at this time. It all depends on luck. Linda said she's willing to pay 10 times the price if she can find it. Coincidentally, as soon as Linda left, a mother and her daughter came to the door. Turns out, the mother wanted Carla to help her daughter get an abortion. The daughter was still in school and couldn't take care of the baby. The mother had no money to go to the hospital, so she approached Carla for help. Although Carla had done this kind of thing when she was young, but she's changed since then. She couldn't sleep if she did it too much. But when she learned that the baby was 5 months old, Carla changed her mind. After all, it was a rare opportunity. Soon after, Carla took the mother and daughter into the kitchen. After a few operations, she finally pulled it off. But who knows? On the way home, due to Carla's mishandling, the girl's body had some abnormalities. At the same time, Carla immediately called Linda to her house to tell her she had the material. She said she'd make steamed dumplings. Carla went into the kitchen and started making them. While she waited, Linda got bored, so she went to the kitchen door to check it out and saw the child. Linda ran away in a panic, but when she got to the stairs, she stopped. How could she get her husband back if she gave up now? In the end, desire overcame fear. Linda went back to Carla and told her she was ready. This time she wasn't afraid. She even watched the cooking. In no time at all, a beautiful steamed dumpling was ready. Linda looked at the white and red dumplings. She couldn't wait to pick one up and put it in her mouth. 5 months is 5 months. The texture is completely different from the previous ones. When she ate all the dumplings, she instantly felt like she was 18 years old. But at that moment, she suddenly received news that her husband had been injured. Linda immediately rushed to the hospital. But on the way to the hospital, her skin really changed. When she arrived at the hospital, she was a completely different person. Linda had a youthful look about her. At that moment, lying on the hospital bed, the husband also felt the change in his wife. He was so weak, he immediately felt more energetic. He discussed the latest knowledge with Linda on the spot. Since the following episode is boring, I'll skip it for you. Since Linda's rejuvenation, her husband has been spending time with her every day for days on end. The couple's relationship was restored, but unfortunately, it didn't last long. On this day, Linda organized a family party. Her friends complimented her on how young she was getting. At that moment, Linda's vanity was greatly satisfied. However, during the meal, a foul odor suddenly spread. At first, everyone thought the steak on the table had gone bad, but after some observation, they realized that the odor seemed to be coming from Linda. Linda also realized something was wrong and hid in the bathroom. The smell was getting worse and worse. Linda panicked. She soaked her body in flower petals and perfume. She thought she could hide the odor, but it didn't work. Then she called Carla. She asked her why the odor had appeared on her body, but Carla was puzzled. She'd never seen anything like this in all the years she'd been eating them. She guessed that Linda's body must have rejected it and that's why it tasted funny. But don't worry, as long as her body gets used to it, maybe tomorrow it will return to normal. Linda was relieved to hear that, but what she didn't know was that her husband had overheard their conversation. After some investigation, the man managed to find Carla's address. Soon after, he knocked on Carla's door. Carla recognized her as Linda's husband. She invited the man inside. The man said he was here to buy dumplings. The boss understood. In a moment, he brought a bowl of steaming dumplings to the man. However, just as he was eating his first dumpling, Kara suddenly came up with a bold idea.